enough sharp, keen ends sticking out that no matter which way I sat, some article of clothing was speared. Behind me, I heard the back door open. "Do you want to take a call from the sheriff's office?" Camille possessed one of those voices that carried command in every sentence. If she had said, "It's a beautiful day," well then, by God, it had better just be a beautiful day if it knew what was good for it. She was the oldest of my 4 children, and she'd been boss since she was 2 years old. "Why do they want to talk to me?" I asked, turning my head so I could see her. She shrugged and waggled the receiver at me. She was wearing an apron, which meant that she was cooking something that would end up resembling health food. I frowned. "I don't even know what county we're in," I added. I had a fleeting vision of the local police hopelessly stymied by a tough case. They knew that their only hope lay with the aging, ailing Undersheriff who happened to be in town visiting relatives and recuperating from having his carotid arteries reamed out. I could see the harried captain of detectives reaching for the phone, saying with arched eyebrow to his sweating lieutenant, "Let's call Gastner in." It was indeed a fleeting vision, the sort of thing the mind dreams up when there's too much free time. "This is Genesee County," Camille said. "But you're off by about 2,000 miles. She grinned, her dark face softening until she looked like her mother. "The acting undersheriff wants to speak with you." She put the receiver to her ear and said, "He hasn't decided whether or not to get out of his chair, Estelle. Hang on a minute while I beat on him." My pulse jumped, not from the threat of pummeling, but from the mention of Estelle Reyes-Guzman's name. Camille saw the expression on my face. "The cord won't reach," she said, but I was already grunting myself upright. "They make cordless phones now," I muttered, but I knew that on her husband's lowly earnings as an oral surgeon they no doubt had to be careful about such luxuries. Out of habit, I glanced at my watch and saw that it was 4:36. Flint, Michigan was on Eastern Time, so it was siesta time in Posadas County, New Mexico. If I'd been home, I would have been just wrapping up lunch at the Don Juan de Anate restaurant. But I wasn't home. Camille handed me the phone as I reached the screen door. "Gastner," I said, sounding for all the world as if I'd been busy with something important. Estelle Reyes-Guzman knew better, even from 2,000 miles away. "I hope I didn't wake you, sir," she said. Her voice was soft and musical. I grinned and ambled back toward the kitchen, doing my best not to trip over the cord. "I was right in the middle of a high-level meeting," I said. "It's good to hear from you." Estelle, chief of detectives for the Posadas County Sheriff's Department, had called several times during my convalescence, and I'd called her only 2 days before, enjoying a nice long chat at my son-in-law's expense. He didn't mind, and he even pointed out that what few calls I made were nothing compared to the communications havoc that his 3 teenagers could wreak. In the background, I heard the squelch of the dispatcher's radio. Knowing that Estelle was at the office piqued my interest, and it was logical that she hadn't called just to chat. "What's up?" I asked. "There were a couple of things Francis wanted me to ask you, and now I can't remember what they were," Estelle said. Her physician husband could ask his own questions, and no doubt would when next we met eye to eye. "Tell him that I've lost 100 pounds and I'm running 8 miles every morning, and that I've given up Mexican food entirely." "The latter I can believe, sir," she said, "as long as you're stuck up there." "Ain't that the truth?" "I called because of a couple things myself," she said. "First of all, do you remember Florencio Apodaca?" I should have responded, "Well, sure, of course I do." But the name drew a blank. I said, a grunt that could be construed either way. "Mr. Apodaca is the old man who lives at the end of Escondido Lane, in that old adobe with the steep metal roof line?" I interrupted her as my memory kicked into gear. "Sure," I said, "of course." Escondido Lane curved around behind my own property in Posadas. If my